know, it wouldn't be a fun hobby if you didn't run into these issues. So I did something a bit stupid. Yesterday when I was cutting through the swing arm pivot bolt, I cut through one of the collars, which was fine. That went through pretty easy. They're replaceable, so it's not an issue. The issue is I also used my angle grinder to cut into the other side, which cut into this guy. This is the left-hand side swing arm collar, which is much harder than the collars on the right-hand side. So this blunted about 3 or 4 of my blades. Resorted to the angle grinder, and as you know, didn't even get through it properly because I just couldn't get the tool in there. What I ended up doing was hitting it with a drift, getting the bolt out. So went online to try and find another one of these guys. Discontinued. Went on eBay, none. Emailed a few breakers, bike breakers. Nobody seems to have any. So I resorted to, I don't know if you can see, I've welded up the cut and filed it down. I'm in the process of doing this one, my hideous welds. So I welded up the cut, I'm filing it down, you can see there. Because this is just a spacer now, this won't actually do any sort of rotating. Because I'm going to be fitting the monostrut to the bike. So this has no effect on any sort of pivoting, any sort of rotation. The swing arm doesn't pivot with the monostrut anyway, so the bearings in there do nothing. This doesn't need to rotate on the bearings. This is just a spacer now. So I figured I'll weld it up and you just use it as a spacer. The welds might be at risk of some rust because they're a different material, but I think if I just keep it greased up, maybe take it, disassemble it maybe once a year or something, renew the grease, keep that waterproofing on there, should be fine. But yeah, there's your lesson, folks. If you're going to cut into something thinking you can replace it, make sure you can replace it. So now I'm in the process of actually cleaning things. I've taken apart the water pump, given that a bit of a clean. This thing was absolutely covered in grease and grime. Not too bad now. What I did find on the cover though, this piece here had a hole in it where the corrosion had just gone all the way through. So I filled that with an epoxy metal filler, which I'm gonna file back down so that doesn't leak out that tiny hole anymore. But yeah, that's come up quite nice. Shiny. There's still a tiny bit of sort of corrosion staining on it, but it is just sort of superficial. There's nothing really eating away at it anymore. I'm now in the process of cleaning the thermostat piece. So I've got my ultrasonic cleaner set up, that's heating up at the minute. I've got a little soak bath thing going on here with some hot water and sort of detergent, just because these things were just full of dried out coolant liquid that just crystallized, and it's just an absolute nightmare to get off. So what I'm doing is anywhere I can't get the little, I've got some little brass wire brushes, so it doesn't do anything to the aluminium. But anyway, I can't reach with those. I'm just gently using this tiny screwdriver, which is the same one I used to get the dirt off the engine. So I'm just gently prying away at that. You can probably see in there. Almost done with this one, but there's loads of crystallized coolant in there. But yeah, these things were just caked in dirt as well. So what I've ended up doing is hitting that with a little wire brush. It's come out quite nice, but that was pretty much covered. But it's coming out all right. Obviously I'm not going any abrasives over any of the machined edges, because what I don't want to do is sort of mar the surface of them and then cause any leaks or anything like that. But so far so good. What I'm going to do is just get the worst off of these, chuck them in the ultrasonic cleaner, put them in a little bag, label it up, and then they'll be ready to go back on the bike whenever I get to that stage, which I'm not really sure when that's going to be. I've got some parts turned up. I've got some replacement hoses that have come. I've got a new stator, case gaskets, and clutch plates and springs, so they'll be going on at some point. But at the moment I've just got this shelf of parts behind me, and I've cleaned these, bagged these bits up. These are the engine casings. Not really sure what I'm going to do with them yet. I think what I'm probably going to do is maybe repaint them. This is all radiator and swing arm bolts and whatnot. Carburetors are on the end, but I'm waiting for a kit. Yeah, so I am just going to crack on with cleaning this thermostat. The epoxy metal filler on the water pump has to cool, harden and cure. Still need to order some O-rings for it, but once they're here, that can all go in a bag and that'll be done. Here we go. There's all the parts just out of the ultrasonic cleaner. They come out pretty good. This one you can see where the corrosion was, it's really eaten into it. But that's much nicer. This was like a crystal cavern in here when I took it off. So what I'm going to do is I've just wire brushed all these screws to get the rust off. I might coat these, I might zinc coat these, I'm not really sure yet. These have come out quite nice. Still need a bit of care and attention, so I'm just going to hit them with some brake and part cleaner, because this stuff's pretty good at just, you know, degreasing in general and cleaning these bits up. So I'm going to do that now. Here's one for you. Inside these little screw guides, I guess, I mean, they've got no threads. The bolts literally just go through there straight into the bottom part, which has the threads. Where's the camera? Yeah. So these are just sort of guides, I guess. Anyway, these bolts had rusted. I left a load of corrosion in here now. I couldn't get anything in there. I don't have anything that could sort of get in there and get the rust out that was left in there. Now the aluminium's fine. That hasn't rusted, obviously. So what I ended up doing is getting a screwdriver, putting some sandpaper on it, getting it in there. Just give it a bit of a spin, and then take it off. No more rust. Maybe you can see that. So yeah, if you're stuck for ideas and you don't have a tiny wire brush like me, that would have helped. Or something to stick on the end of a Dremel. That'd have been good. Oh, safety tip. I have my safety goggles on when I'm wire wheeling, because these little wires from the brushes, they absolutely know where your eyeballs are. I don't know how, but they will. They will embed themselves straight into your face holes. So stick your eye protection on. Nasty, them little things. I've had them sticking out my face before, you know, when they've flown off the brush. These little wire wheels, I use them on my drill. It's a very low power drill, a little battery thing. It doesn't spin very fast at all. I do have a wire wheel that goes on my angle grinder. That thing is terrifying, so I don't use that at all for these sort of jobs. Yeah, that thing. That sprays the wires out like nobody's business. So yeah, I don't tend to use that one for general cleaning. So, water pump's off. That was a bit of a faff. It looks like whoever serviced this before decided they were going to silicone on the inside of this instead of using a new O-ring. So that's great. I've just cleaned up the perimeter of that, stuffed some blue roll in there, stuffed all this crap getting in there. I don't know if you can see any of this. It's just absolutely caked on. It's very satisfying. It's so thick. So I've ordered some bits. I've got to wait for those parts to arrive. In the meantime, I am just gonna peel away all this caked on dirt, grime, whatever else is stuck under here. Oh my god, loads of it. Yeah, I'm really looking forward to getting this thing clean. Got to get the worst off first, because this has got to be, I don't know, at least a millimetre thick. Right, that is some thick dirt. It's not been painted under here, or if it has, the paint has dissolved in the solvents that have just come off this engine, I imagine. I can tell that, like, oh, this is definitely home painted. You can tell because they've painted the spark plugs. You know, standard practice. So I am going to spend a good while chipping away, scraping away all this grime, and yeah, get the worst off, get my cleaner on it, and let that do its work, and then hopefully, you know, nice shiny engine again. Not really sure what I'm going to do about these yet. These again, homemade styling. I don't know if I should file these down and then respray the fins, because these have just oxidized because it's just aluminium under there. So there's quite a few of them. I mean, not so many on this bit, but they clearly started over here and then just got bored. Yeah, didn't bother. So that's the plan. Scrape off all the gunk, give this a good scrub down with some like cleaning solution. Yeah, and then just start servicing it bit by bit. Frames all dismantled. Oh, and my other shadow arrived today. This one, yeah, this one needs some work. It's a bit rough. It's not the prettiest thing in the world. Again, some questionable design choices. I think that's for you know, the rider that sits on your handlebars. But yeah, I mean, this one runs. It needs a good service, but it's not too bad. So what I'm going to do is, because this one was missing so many parts, is probably refer back to this one, because I don't think anything apart from the rear, which is an absolute mess, I don't think this one's really been changed that much. So if I get to this one and I think what plugs in here, what fixes to what, I can just look at this one and yeah, get a better idea of where things go. I mean, these aren't complicated bikes, and they do lend themselves to modification quite well. So, I mean, there's a lot of stuff you can take off them. So, yeah, that's the plan. Clean this engine up while I'm waiting for parts to arrive. I'm going to get this sandblasted, shot blasted soon. Then I'll do a bit of welding, modification, battery box, brackets, etc, etc. And then once that's all done, that will go off the powder coat. and then hopefully by that time the engine will be done, so that can go back in, and then it'll be a case of deciding what I'm going to do with the wheels. Forks need a good servicing as well, I think. They're not leaking or anything, it's just they've got no dust seals. The little spring retaining clips in these guys, they've all rusted out, so they need to come out. So if I'm going to do that, I might as well, you know, service them properly. What else we got? Yeah, all the parts. Basically a motorbike on a shelf. I bought some bags to start bagging stuff up. I know there's a lot of bits in here, like this little breather jobby, some other little bits and bobs down here that aren't going to go back on the bike, but until I have either sourced replacements or I get to that stage in the reassembly, I'm not going to throw them away just yet. Carbs are going to be good fun, mainly because I found half the parts that's supposed to be on the inside on the outside. This little tin is full of parts, so yeah, that's going to be interesting. Anyway, back to scrubbing off crap. Okay, so there you go. I mean, short of any cleaning fluid, this has literally just been done with a little plastic brush that I've sort of made a prison shank end on, just so I don't scratch anything up. I have been using this tiny little flathead screwdriver, mainly just to get in all the tiny little places where I can't get the plastic one. But I will get some cleaning fluid and clean this up properly, but all of this, so much of it, just absolutely caked on. Yeah, I mean, this will get cleaner once I get some cleaning fluid, give it a good scrub. I've also taken out the oil pressure sensor and this little guy and the front sprocket with the brackets. They'll get a good clean. There's a tiny bit of grime on the back which I'll tackle now. Thankfully this is the only side, mainly because of the chain being on this side, but yeah, this should come up pretty nice. Alright, I've shifted the engine outside. I am going to start cleaning this thing. I have this stuff, it's like a degreaser. It's pretty good, I've used it before. I had a really dirty old Bandit engine, much worse than this. And it did a really good job of getting all that out. I've also got my brake parts cleaner, just a little plastic brush. I'm just going to go at this thing, especially this side, and yeah, get it all cleaned up. Okay, so currently stripping the paint off the cylinder head. I forgot to film removing it, but it's literally just these two chrome bolts on top. Just cover this up, stop any gunk and dust in there, so I'll be able to get to that later on. So what I'm doing now is I've stripped all the bolts, all the other bits off. They're all in here, wherever they are, all clean. Now I've got these little stainless parts. I actually have a stainless polishing kit with a 3-stage polish, so I'm going to give that a go and see if I can get this. So I have already applied the first of the 3 compounds. So this is the most coarse, with the most coarse wheel. Oh, I must say, that's looking a hell of a lot nicer than it did beforehand. And that's just the first stage. Just a bit of a comparison. This is what it looked like before. Pretty rubbish, this one. I mean, this is just dirty, really. It's difficult to see, but I mean, these aren't reflective at all. So hopefully these come up really nice. But I'll carry on with the next 2 stages and see how they come out.